going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, regardless about how you feel about Marvel's chair stunt, there's one thing that's true. It was effective, and since then, fans have wondered two things. A, when the next round of announcements are coming now that Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige have both confirmed that wasn't it. And B, just who's going to be added to this already extensive list now that we know we've got some original X-Men returning already? Well, as it turns out, just like the days of Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, fans are super eager to find any new information right now on these movies, which leads to them looking in unlikely places. And in an article released by a major Hollywood trade that had absolutely nothing to do with anything Marvel or Avengers, we just got a brand new bombshell reveal that Hayley Atwell will apparently star in both films. We're going to break down where this came from, what they exactly said, and try to speculate just a little bit as to which version of Captain Carter this might be, well, because we saw her untimely demise in the first film. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel. That's all we do. Thanks to everyone who's been subscribing in the last couple of months. We are growing again at an insane pace, and if you haven't already, I would just kindly invite you to hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to support us here at the channel, plus it enters you in for the PS5 giveaway. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so The Hollywood Reporter, probably one of the more trusted Hollywood trades alongside Deadline with the information they report, just released an article a day ago headlined, Power Lawyers 2025 Meet Hollywood's Top 100 Attorneys. And among this list was the attorney Julian Zajfeld. They go on to say, quote, in addition to negotiating deals for long-standing clients like Dick Wolf, Eddie Murphy, and Darren Star, Zajfeld represents hit directors like Gareth Edwards, who'll be directing that above-mentioned Jurassic Park sequel starring Scarlett Johansson. He also did the deal for client Mark Millar to executively produce HBO's in-the-works Harry Potter TV series, Hayley Atwell's deal to star in Marvel's Avengers 5 and 6, and Catherine Zeta-Jones to return as Morticia for Season 2 of Netflix, The Addams Family reboot Wednesday. Hayley Atwell's deal to star in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Now, first up, if you're wondering how this happens, I'll tell you exactly how this happens. It is not that complicated. This is obviously a done deal and known amongst the firm. It's under her most recent deals. So when Hollywood Reporter asks either a PR agent who's one step removed or one person, say over an HR or PR over for the firm, to provide a list of recent accolades for this article, there's a chance that that person doesn't know that in the context of Avengers fandom, and right now, this happens to be a huge spoiler because that information isn't out there already. So really not usually that big a deal except for this one key case, and in this case happens to be a huge leak. Now, credit where credit's due. This isn't the first time we've been hearing about this. This scoop actually broke back in December on Deadline from writer Justin Kroll under the headline Avengers Doomsday, Hayley Atwell reprising Agent Carter role in Marvel Studios' pick. They went on to report exclusive, with Chris Evans likely reprising his Steve Rogers role in Marvel Studios' Doomsday. It looks like his former partner in crime will be joining him in the new Marvel movie. Sources tell Deadline that Hayley Atwell is expected to reprise her Agent Carter role in the film, which Anthony and Joe Russo are returning to direct and Marvel President Kevin Feige is on board to produce. Marvel did not respond for comment. Now, I want to take a second as we speculate exactly which version of Captain Carter Hayley Atwell may be playing. I want to talk about a scoop we did not cover at the channel simply because it fell through the cracks at the time, coming from industry insider Alex Perez over at Cosmic Circus, that Marvel Studios might look to actually blend animated characters into the Multiverse saga and leave them animated amongst live action heroes. Yes, we're talking like a full-on Space Jam or Who Framed Roger Rabbit type of integration. Now, I don't know how I feel about that. The MCU is the live-action Marvel Cinematic Universe, but remember, from Multiverse of Madness, they did slip through an animated universe, so it basically sets up the theory that all of these Marvel stories, even across animation, are canon to the multiverse. And for a show like What If that very clearly dealt with the multiverse, I think it's very safe to assume, and a logical conclusion, that we'll be getting some variant or the variant of Captain Carter from the animated multiverse. Now, whether they'll leave her animated or not, I just don't imagine they'll do that. Maybe they'll be animated when they go to their part of the universe and she'll be live action in the flesh when she's in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Again, I just think it comes down to paying an actor like this a lot of money, and how does it practically work if she's animated the entire time versus what that might look like if she's actually there in person. I think that's a no-brainer, especially if this leads to Steve Rogers And that's where our imagination again might be able to run a little wild here, where we had been hearing that Chris Evans is coming back, he'll have a cameo in the upcoming Fantastic Four, and that the version we may get is the version that returned the Infinity Stones that we know ended up with him going back and reuniting with Peggy Carter. And if you look at that article from Deadline, it certainly makes it seem like there may be some pairing between Chris Evans, again unannounced, and Haley Atwell. But that pairing might not be what you think. Remember, a lot of the rumors that focus on Chris Evans' return have talked of him playing an evil variant of Cap or a Hydra Cap alongside Dr. Doom, where Dr. Doom is looking to leverage the fact that he looks like Tony Stark, but could also leverage the avatars of the original Avengers or the characters that these people care so much about, and Steve Rogers would check a lot of boxes, not only Captain Carter, but Bucky and Sam. It would be hard for all three to fight and eventually have to kill a Steve Rogers variant, and I think while there may be some truth to that, I'm still also holding on to the fact that I don't think seeing a Dr. Doom that looks like Tony Stark or even an evil Steve Rogers in Doomsday precludes us from getting the OG Avengers showing up to save the day at the end of Secret Wars. And I really feel like when we hear about some of these characters returning or the ways they may be returning, what we hear first isn't actually the only role that they'll be playing. I have just a sneaking suspicion about this. How this applies to Channing Tatum trying to create some mystery on whether he's playing Gambit, I don't buy into that at all. He's definitely coming back as Gambit. Like, let's just call it what it is. There's obviously an X-Men team there that he's on. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below, as always, about all of this. Are you psyched for Captain Carter, and do you agree it's got to be the one from the What If series? I'm all ears as always, though, down in the comments. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we're still giving away PS5s here at the channel. All you got to do to be entered to win or for any of the other giveaways, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here, live with my voice in the winning comment shown on screen when there is one. So please be safe and vigilant on my channel, really any channel at YouTube. Remember, anybody can grab a content creator's photo, claim to be them, and then spam the comments looking for people who they can get their information and then try to charge them for shipping for a price that doesn't exist, all because they're just impersonating a content creator. And it's a lot more tricky sometimes than you would think. People get excited, I get it. If you get a comment like that, please try to remember that no content creator ever will ever charge you for shipping. That's not part of the deal. If you win something, we're going to ship it to you. So if you should ever get a spam comment really at any channel on YouTube, just report them directly to YouTube. They are really good about getting those accounts down really fast. You've done everyone on the platform and everywhere they've commented a service. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places. Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on all platforms with original music under the name AllFires. Also, if you like today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. All right, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next one. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.